Men in black, and that's the right word. Men. Because what else can you call these guys who took down Benfica away from home? That's what I mean by men. Let's break it down. How did Barça pull this off? Barça kicked off like they always do, but finished in a way that caught everyone off guard. Thumbs up if you're ready, because we're diving into everything. From Cubarsi sending off to Szczęsny heroic save. By the 20th minute, it felt like Benfica had some bite going forward. But Barça looked well in control to see this one through. The result was there for the taking. Victory with a couple of goals to spare. Dani Olmo had the perfect pocket of space in midfield. He could run the show. Barça had at least 3 clean breaks that should have led to shots. One moment, Lewandowski pulls off something special. The next, Rafinha fluffs his lines. Then Olmo is just inches off. It felt like the pressure was mounting, the goal was coming. But that red card, that changed everything. All plans completely changed. We had to switch from a game where everything was fine and clear, like, all right, let's go into work mode, to plan B. And the interesting thing is that the red card at the start is sad, but Barcelona actually does have a plan B because they've had to play with fewer men a lot this season. Remember the red card against Sociedad in the last La Liga round? That was the first red card for Barcelona's opponents this season. So playing with a man up, Barcelona has no idea what that feels like, but playing with a man down, that's something they know well, because in La Liga, Barcelona's players have been sent off 3 times already. Once in the Super Cup, and now twice in the Champions League. Barcelona started this Champions League campaign with a red card in the game against Monaco in the 10th minute. And they still managed to get a decent result. Just 1-2 against Monaco, a tough opponent. And then, recently, in early February, Barcelona played against Sevilla, leading 3-1, and Fermin Lopez was sent off in the 67th or 62nd minute. And then with 3-1, Barcelona got a 4-1, and Sevilla couldn't do anything against them. This match was the turning point, and everyone noticed how well Barcelona handled playing with fewer men. Hansi Flick praised the team after the game, saying, "Even great, this game will benefit us because now we know, we understand, and we're already working on it." And in practice, they worked on the red card situation and playing in a 4-4-1 formation. And that's why I'm switching things up. Even in this Barcelona, there are still issues. Look, Dani Olmo just returned. He's slowly getting back into form, already starting matches. But he's not the kind of player who can handle that kind of workload for long periods. So it was decided to sub him for Ronald Araujo. It was Dani Olmo who left, with Robert Lewandowski staying on, and they switched to that 4-4-1 formation Flick had talked about. And that was it. No more subs were needed, not even at halftime, because the squad was working well. Pedri and Jong in the middle were phenomenal. The referee got under Frenkie de Jong's skin, and he ran like he never has before. Ronald Araujo, who came on as a sub, he played brilliantly on the defense. Almost perfect. Exactly what was needed. I think sometimes you have to recognize that for tricky matches, you need to bring on someone like Araujo. Not to control the offside line, but to actually throw himself into the action. Clearances, blocks, and all the things Ronald Araujo does well. That's how the team played, and they played well, with additional changes coming in the second half. I'd even say that the red card, and after that, a series of 3 acts followed that, changed the game and impacted the result because Hansi Flick was ready. The red card for Cubarsi was the most frustrating moment of the match. Many immediately had flashbacks from last season when Barcelona was already 1 foot in the semi-finals and could have gone further, with an away win followed by a goal. In the debut of the match at home, then Ron Tarua runs after Barcala, pulls him, gets a red card. Barcelona falls apart. He pulls his leg and PSG goes through to the semi-final. Here the story is different. The match was just starting. There's still an important match ahead. The foul wasn't necessary, but Pau Cubarsi wasn't planning to foul. He was sure he was first. He was really running, and he could have played the ball, but there are always moments, all the moments. Cubarsi runs. Cubarsi catches up, but he was slightly pushed off. Seems like he was lightly elbowed, and Pau Cubarsi, falling and trying to play the ball, his leg goes a little higher due to the push, and he misses the ball. He missed the ball. Took down his man in a clear, one-on-one situation. Straight red card. Everything's clear here by the letter of the law. Just like Cubarsi's intentions were clear. They were good, and there were no issues here. We've seen several times this season how Cubarsi catches up like that. I'll tell you more. We've been seeing for a season and a half how Cubarsi catches up and plays the ball like that. You see a lot of highlights online of him running. I think even Vinicius gets carried like that sometimes. Many such moments. So this was just another routine moment where small details got in the way of Pau Cubarsi. But it wasn't a desperate foul. Many are discussing the moment when Frenkie de Jong was really pushed. And this is the referee's missed call for this reason. Because if he had blown for a standard foul, like you often see in the middle of the field, when someone jumps from behind, gets pushed, stops the attack, fine, no problem. But here, he let the attack continue. It led to a goal. And then after the review, it's no longer there. By the letter of the law, to make this change look, it could have been influenced, but the foul had to be significant in the center of the field. And if Frenkie de Jong's jumped just a slight touch in the end, they didn't quite reach a serious foul that could full being overturned. Unfortunately, it's just how it goes. Barcelona gains experience. These young guys gain experience and confidence, which is necessary in the Champions League. But the coolest part came next, because unexpectedly, they took Lamine Yamal off the field and brought on Torres instead. Even though still, how's that, Robert? Everyone expected they'd take off Robert Lewandowski. It was really tough for him in this match, but instead, Ferran Torres moves to the left wing, Rafinha goes to the right, and they keep Robert Lewandowski on the field. And this is with the condition that Ferran is being trained in the center of the attack, instead of Robert Lewandowski, an unusual position for him. Rafinha's returned to the wing, and Rafinha scores from here. He waited for the mistake and scored, so another action. Already the second one that worked. Actually, there's a small clarification. As I understand it, Ramadan is this month, and they developed a special plan for Lamine Yamal to keep his body in shape after the daily fasts. So in the comments, please let me know how this works. Unfortunately, I'm not familiar with the details of it, but still Lamine Yamal couldn't keep up with those loads, plus it was also tactically justified. You can clearly see that the guys are running on empty. Pedri dragging his legs, but still doing magic with them. Frenkie de Jong is taken off. Marco Casado comes on. Then more reshuffling. Eventually, Robert Lewandowski had to be taken off sooner or later. Ferran was moved back to the striker position, and Gerard and Martin on the left. Another already good low block. Ferran Torres running, chasing balls. Yeah, it didn't work out, but this 8 held up great, and Wojciech Szczęsny, because no matter how perfect your plan is, sooner or later it all comes down to the fact that the opponent will find chances and score, even if it's not the most difficult or even tough. One here's the guy who's supposed to be your guarantee. Clean sheet, and he delivered just that. This is probably one of the best goalkeeper performances in a critical moment I've seen in recent years, specifically for Barça. Usually, this wasn't the case, because Wojciech Szczęsny is the hero of the match today. He allowed this team to become experienced, brave, and he made this team believe that they could make it. Before, it was always red cards, some problems, and Barça would start falling apart. They couldn't defend with a man down, they couldn't defend in general, but now they can do everything. And here's Hansi Flick, who we've talked about, going step by step, gathering all the lessons from previous unsuccessful matches, and came up with this solution. A working solution, but Wojciech adds to it, because no matter how much Pedri ran, how much Rafinha shot and scored, how fantastically Araujo, Martinez, Balde, or Kounde defended, opponents will still get chances. You can't defend perfectly with a man down. You can get close to perfection, but it's the goalkeeper who defines the ideal, and the goalkeeper who pulls off 8 saves of any difficulty. And on top of that, add how he plays. I mean, really, when I watch Wojciech, I think, they're not going to score on him. He has 2 draws, everything else is a win. With Wojciech, Barcelona doesn't lose, and just the movement. There were so many corners that's not even stats. Every corner, Wojciech came out, either caught it, punched it out, or got in the way well, or was first to the ball with his feet. Yeah, I could have passed it simpler. I'd give it. I can't. There's a risk. Forward, I'll come out, let them not challenge me, but I'll clear it. Plus, these movements, it's not like they just rush to score right away. No, I've received the ball, I'll take my time. Or if the ball's rolling on the ground, Wojciech follows it, pressuring, please, come closer. Boom, I've got it. Oh, a whole minute wasted. How sad. And then another 8 seconds, I'll smile. Could have given even more. Absolutely right. I would have done a couple of runs too. There was time for that. And not just time, but the opportunity. Everyone would have understood, I think. Everyone would have been fine if Wojciech had pulled it off at the end like that. And I would have even run up with a lighter and said, "Sir, please." One honor. I don't know how else to put it. That's all. And in this regard, Hansi Flick is really choosing the right approach. Whether Barcelona's goalkeeper needs to be phenomenal with his feet, or if it's okay to let the game with feet. For the good of the game on the line, for the good of saves, and for this kind of behavior. And in this match, we see that it's possible. How would Barcelona's goalkeeper have saved today with his feet? Not at all. But how did those two sticks with fingers save the day? You all saw it perfectly. Thank you, guys. Thank you, Wojciech. Today, I just want to say thank you to the whole team. Everyone who played, everyone who came off the bench, everything was done perfectly. Now, there's the next game. And it's great that the team has the experience and the opportunity. And then I think we really need to go all out against Benfica. Now I'm going to check out the experience, see what's important. Because I was looking at PSG's stats against Liverpool, then I checked the score. Subscribe, join the Barça family channel. We'll be discussing everything related to Barcelona. Cool story time. As a token of appreciation, Hansi Flick allowed Wojciech Szczęsny to hit Balde